So to discuss this, WPS and WQT, so how to prepare WPS? Basically, they start with preliminary WPS, which is prepared by welding engineer. So welding engineer will refer to code, spec, drawing, material, etc. Yeah. All right, then after completed preliminary WPS, the next step is to prepare the test well, test coupon, they call it. Yeah. Prepare the test coupon, maybe pipe, maybe plate. All right. And who's going to come for witness? Normally we call client, or maybe third party required to witness this process, and welding engineer, and also welding inspector. So who's going to weld this? This must be skill welder. All right, skill welder will perform the welding of this test well. So we have test well or test coupon. Yeah. So what purpose of having welding inspector here? So welding inspector to record welding variables or welding conditions or welding parameters. All right, so that purpose of having welding inspector there. So when the test coupon already completed well, then visual must be carried out. So we carried out visual. If the visual okay, then they send for NDT. So what requirement for NDT here? Refer to the spec. Maybe they ask for UT or RT, or maybe they ask for MT or PT. If that is acceptable, then this test coupon will be sent to mechanical test. Or disruptive test, carried out mechanical test lab. So what they want here, depend on the code or specification. Maybe they ask for tensile, and they ask for maybe toughness, or maybe they ask for hardness must be carried out, or maybe corrosion test required. All right. Then all these, there must be a report required. Where is the report? Here, where is the report? And from here, mechanical test, where is the report? All right? So all this report, from here, report from here, or maybe another additional report like, you know, the material, consumables, things like that. So those reports must be compiled into a document. They call it, after mechanical test, then there is a document. They call it WPAR, or they call it also WPQQR. Where in ASME or the AWS, American, they just call it PQR. Yeah? But European maybe call it welding procedure approved record or welding procedure qualification record. From this WPAR, WPQR, then welding engineer will write WPS, maybe 1 or 2 WPS, maybe WPS 1, WPS 2, or maybe combine 2 PQR and make 1 WPS, also possible. Yeah. So after this, approve WPS. So approve WPS by, normally it's by client. Client will approve. Okay. Then after approve WPS, then production can start. So from approved WPS here, we able to carry out welder qualification tests from approved WPS. All right. So example, to kick off the project, we need to have 10 welders, but only 1 welder, which is skill welder here, he automatically can start production already because of he's the one who carried out the test coupon, right? The 2 welder test coupon, right? He automatically qualified. But the other welder must come to test in WQT before he can work in production. Okay, so that is more or less what is the sequence of producing WPS. Both European and American, the step is almost the same, right? But maybe the value, things, qualification range will be different, right? But step how to doing it is almost the same. Yeah. You may copy this one if you want. Okay. All right, we finish. Copy. All right. Now we're going to discuss from your slide. Yeah. All right, questions? What is the main purpose or main reason carrying out WQT? Sorry, welding procedure, WPS. Welding procedure qualification test. Why we need to have a pipe or plate and then get the skill welder to weld. So he said to show that welded joint has properties. In this case, properties, they say strength. Strength here is UTS. But toughness, hardness may be important for some application. And also demonstrate that the weld can be made without defects. That's the only purpose, all right? All right, here is saying, purpose of WPS here to achieve specific properties in terms of mechanical strength, corrosion, composition, to ensure freedom from defect, enforce QC procedures, standardized method, control production to form a record, application standard or contract requirement. And also to give confidence that the weld mechanical and metallurgical properties meet requirement of the applicable code or specification. Each welding procedure will show range to which procedure is approved. If customer queries the approval, evidence can be supplied to prove validity. So according to European 15614, we have document, they call it preliminary. Then we have welding procedure qualification record. Sometimes they call it welding procedure approved record. And the last one document is WPS, welding procedure. So in order to produce the procedure, so there is planning the task, collecting data, like we have parameters record, the NDT record, mechanical test record, all right? So preliminary welding procedure, the welding engineer write preliminary welding procedure for each test weld to be made. A welder make a test weld accordance with preliminary. So that's why we need to have preliminary during the weld of the test weld. A welding inspector, so that's why we need to have an inspector there to record all welding condition, referred to as run condition. Or in other words, we can say welding parameters. After completion of the weld, okay, here it said independent body examining third party may be requested. Then finish the test weld subject to NDT, carried out visual, maybe you require MT or PT or maybe RT or UT. All right, after NDT, then it's accepted. Test weld is subjected to destructive test, maybe required tensile, bend or macro, or maybe according to client or specification, they ask for impact, which is toughness, hardness, and sometimes they ask for corrosion test. All right, the welding condition used for the weld for the test weld here. So in order to produce PQR, so there must be result of NDT, result of the mechanical test, and also welding parameters recorded. Right? Where is the result? Where is the report? Okay. And third party may be requested to sign PQR as a true record. Then welding engineer will write the WPS for production welding. So production welding must remain in the range requalification allowed by PQR. So from PQR, it's like a mother. Then from there, they will write the WPS from PQR. Right? PQR will give a fixed value, but WPS can have a range value. Right? PQR always fixed value. WPS can have a range, wider range, minimum and maximum. All right, according to European standard, we have variables here. We got essential variable which cannot be changed, and that is non-essential variable, and there is additional variable. In ASME, additional variable, they call it supplementary, right? So what is essential variable? You say a variable, if changed beyond certain limit, may have a significant effect on properties. In this case, properties here, strength and ductility. So additional variable, where are some welding variable class as additional? If changed beyond certain limit, may have effect on toughness or hardness. ASME call variable that affect toughness as supplementary variable, but does not refer to hardness. So example of essential variable here, welding process, PWST, material thickness. All right, for WQT, welder approval. What is the main reason of qualified welder? To show that he has skill to be able to make production weld that are free from defect, and also must be able to read WPS. Yeah. So an approved WPS. See here, it says approved WPS. So we test a welder from approved WPS. Should be available covering the range of qualification required for welder approval. The welder qualified according with approved WPS. A welding inspector monitor the welding to make sure that welder use conditions specified by WPS. And then we can call third party to monitor the qualification process. And then the finished test weld subject to NDT, have visual, MT, PT, RT, UT, and the test weld may need to destructively test for certain material or welding process specified by standard or client spec. A welding qualification certificate is prepared showing condition used for the test weld and the range qualification. The qualification certificate usually endorsed by third party as a true record of the test. All right, the welder is allowed to make production weld within the range qualified on the certificate. The range qualification allowed the production welding is based on the limit that European standards specify for welding qualification essential variable. A welding qualification certificate automatically expired if the welder is not used for 6 months. I think both European and American are the same when talking about 6 months is the period. If there is any record of production during 6 months, then the welder can extend another 6 months, and that continues that way. Yeah. But if there is any repair rate, high repair rate, and not working according with the WPS more than 6 months, then we can withdraw the certificate. Yeah. So what is essential variable in welder? It's a variable that we change beyond limits specified by standard, which require more skill, or we can say more difficulties. All right. Example, you test a welder 3G vertical up, but during production, the supervisor asks the welder to do 6G. So cannot, because 6G is more difficult, more high skill. It's not qualified. Yeah. So that is essential variable in welder. So welding process, material, thickness, pipe diameter, position. All right. And this is the information must be included in the test certificate. All right, inspection of welder qualification test. All right, what we're going to do during conducting the WQT, he said here, it is normal for qualified inspector, usually from independent body, to witness the welding under normal circumstances. Only one test wear per welder is permitted. If the welder failed the test and the failure is not fault of the welder, example, faulty welder equipment, then retest will be permitted, right? If the problem from welder, we not allow him to do a retest. Just ask him to come maybe tomorrow or another day when there is still a test, yeah? And the test of the test where is done according with applicable code. It is not normal to carry out tests that for mechanical properties of welds, but tensile, P and other tests. So this is example of welder certificate. All right, you are in the process of ensuring the welding procedure and qualified welder available for new project. If you have to ensure they all comply with the GWI spec. All right, question 1. So this is spec. Question 2, again, very clear here. Spec. 3, write down this, but where? If not, then difficult to get the best answer. Okay? Write down in the questions, write down this, but where? Additional. Then refer to spec. Number 4, spec. 5, spec. 6, spec. 7, spec. 8, spec. 9, spec. 10, spec. All questions refer to spec. Okay? All right, look at question number 1. Within the range of variable in the welding procedure, so welding procedure here, they are referring to WPS. So it said here it's using DC positive for the root. All right. Now we're going to check from page 30 of the spec, 17.4. Right. Table 4, 17.4, sorry, table 7. This one under qualification of WPS, welding procedure. But the questions specifically talk about procedure. In 17.4, we got table 7. And this one talking about essential variable. If we look at under electric characteristic, any change in current type of polarity, meaning they are not allowed because it's affecting the approval, right here, essential variable. Yeah. So we cannot change the things here. So back to questions, right? Because using DC positive, then the best answer goes to D. In accordance with the spec, only DC can be used because it's already mentioned in the table. They not allow any change. Okay, right. Right. So that's why A, B, and C all wrong. Okay. All right. Look at question number 2. Using TWS spec, which of the following true for welder? So this one we refer to WQT, welder test. For welder test, look at page 35, table 10. All right, in table 10, we have essential variable for welder qualification. Yeah, right, 18, section 18 for qualification of welder. Table 10, what we can see here, under plate pipe others, so plate qualify only plate, so they're not qualified pipes. But it said here pipe qualify plate, pipe, and also plate to pipe joint. If the welder qualify in pipe, basically he also qualify in plate. So that's what he said here, right? But changing from fillet to butt is not allowed. Changing from rutile to low hydrogen is not allowed. Changing from active gas to inert gas or vice versa is not allowed, because that affecting the approval. Yeah. So we move to questions number 2. Plate and pipe require separate qualification. That is wrong, because of pipe qualified for plate. So no need separate qualification. If you have pipe, just do pipe, but that also qualified plate. Plate qualified pipe, that's wrong, unless pipe qualified for plate. Yeah, but C is the best answer here. Okay. All right, number 3. Which of the following NDT specified for stainless steel in butt weld? To answer this, we need to look at in the stainless steel details, yeah, in page 25, 14.5 section. Here, under specific detail for welding stainless and duplex stainless steel. All right, if you look at for NDT requirement, for both arsenal and duplex stainless, the following shall apply. 100% visual on all weld. All weld here, talking about fillet weld, butt weld. The same thing goes to die bend. All weld here mean for fillet weld, butt weld, right? But RT only apply for butt weld only. Okay? Right. So back to questions. Here it said butt weld. So B, that for butt weld only, but visual can be both. You said here all weld. Here also all weld. All welds there may be fillet weld or butt weld, so it should be no problem. So that's where the answer goes to D. Okay with that? All right, look at question number 4. If a welding current 145 amps was used on the test plate during qualification, on the actual job while using this procedure, the maximum current permitted is, right? Look at page 30, 17.4. Here, table 7. Look at the welding parameters here. Any change by 15% in the specified value of current, voltage, wire feed speed. So they're allowed to change. Maybe you can add another 50%, right, of the current value, voltage value, add another 50%, they're allowed. So back to questions. So let's say that they're using 145 amps. If we times with 15%, so what we got? 166 amps. So that's the maximum current allowed. Okay? So that's where the answer goes to C. Yeah? All right, number 5. With respect to validity using procedure in different positions, which of the following acceptable? All right, we look at page 31. All right, page 31. Under welding position, in all cases, when impact are not required, the position of the test qualified for all position, both pipe and plate. When impact required, test is carried out with vertical position only, qualified for vertical up position. All right. So here, the best answer goes to C because it says procedure qualified vertical up, qualified for that position only when impact are specified. The answer is wrong because it's not complete statement. It says procedure is always valid only for the position test. It's wrong. Basically, if there is no impact, all position can. Okay? B also wrong. Procedure is always valid for all position. That's wrong. If there is no impact, cannot be. All right? If there is involved with impact, cannot be all position. Yeah? All right. 6. Welder test on plate thickness 14 mm. He's qualified to wear which of the following thickness? All right. Page 35, table 10. All right, I think this one under essential variable, table 10 here. For material thickness, we can see that 14 mm here, qualified 5 mm to 2T. 2T here means we have 14 times 2, we got 28. So it's qualified from 5 to 28, yeah? So here we got the range qualification 5 to up to 2T. So 5 up to 40 times 2. So that's where we got C. Yeah. So C is the answer. 7. For qualified welder for butt weld austenite stainless steel, 14 mm thick plate using thick, which of the following tests not required? Here, not required. All right. All right, look at I think table 12 should be okay. Let me check. Yeah? 18.3, 34, I think 37. Look at page 37, table 12. Here, welding qualification test. All right, bend test is a 2 side bend for thickness more than 12. All right, 1 face, 1 root for thickness 12 mm below. Yeah. All right. Radiography, yes, but not required if bend tests are done. Macro, not required except case of wear made with combination process. Combination process meaning compound, or maybe combination process here referring to TIG with MMA, TIG with other process. So that is combination. But in our questions, they say only using TIG. So meaning macro is not required because of only single process. Macro required when they use different, maybe 2 process, TIG, MMA, that's combination, right? So here, this is butt weld, okay? So not require any filler. Macro, they apply for combination process. So we only use 1 TIG here. So that's why harness, this is for WPS, not WQT. So this is WQT. Yeah? So that's where the answer goes to D, all of the above. Yeah? That one is this. Okay? All right, now we look at question number 8. Which of the following change does not require requalification of welder? I think we already know here, pipe to plate here, which is not require any separate qualification. So the answer goes to C. The rest A, that required separate qualification. And also fillet to butt also separate qualification. Rutile will not qualify low hydrogen. I think we already see that in the table 10. Yeah. Here. All right. Pipe qualify plate, but plate cannot qualify pipe. Here, change fillet to butt is not allowed. Change rutile to low hydrogen is not allowed. Right? And also change from active gas to inert gas is not allowed. Right? So that from this table, the answer goes to C. Yeah, Charlie. Yeah. Does not require requalification. The others all require requalification. 9. Which of the following is true regarding welder qualification? All right, table 11. Here. Look at A, the answer, cellulose qualified rutile, so that is wrong. Addition baking strip require requalification, wrong. Change from argon to carbon dioxide, also wrong. So the only correct here, PG qualified, PG only. Here you can see that PG only qualified PG. That's true, right? The others are wrong. Where you may check from here, from all this table, table 10, right? All this. Tak lah. All right, last questions. If a welder fail qualification due to lack of skill, how many retests allowed? So the answer goes to A, 1. All right, look at page 36, section 18.6. All right, retest. If qualification test piece fail in accordance with the requirement of this document, the welder shall conduct a new test piece. If the welder fails second time, the welder shall be regarded as incapable of welding in accordance with approved WPS. So they only allow one retest. Yeah, from this statement, only one retest allowed. Okay. So the answer goes to alpha. All right.